What is up, guys? We are here with World of Warcraft once again, and today I'm actually going to have a little tutorial, a little beginner's guide for people who are new to World of Warcraft. So let's get started. I'm gonna skip all the character creation stuff, and I'm going to show all the things on my 85 Blood Dead Knight, I'm sorry. So as you can see, this is kinda different than what your normal screen would look like. And the first thing I would suggest doing if you've played a little, if you've done a few quests, and you should know how to do quests, just go to a character, and if he has like a golden question mark above his head, which all those characters don't have, because they don't have quest for me. But if it has a golden question mark, go up, talk to him. There will be like a little thing you can select. You do that and you get a quest, and it will show up in the right here. Like me, I got a quest, active / unburn. I gotta kill 5 Twilight Stormwaker and 40 Twilight Hammer. Those are just enemies, so don't pay attention to their name. You can click on it, and you can click on this show map icon, and it will show you, oh okay, it's a Mount Hyjal, and I am in Ogrimmar at the moment. So it will show you the location, and when you actually get to Mount Hyjal, it will show like a little 1 or whatever. You click on it, and on your mini-map, as you can see, you'll see an arrow. That's the general location you want to go to complete the quest. Some quests might not have tracking, so you might want to Google where to find stuff if you're stuck with a quest sometimes. So that's kind of it for questing. You can open your quest log by pressing L or by pressing this little icon right here. It should be down here somewhere if you got the default UI, and UI is basically user interface. It's your whole screen. So you click it and you get a quest log. Here will be all your quests. All the yellow quests are quests for your level that you can just do. All the green quests are, quests that you're a bit over leveled. All the gray quests are the quests that you're like highly over leveled. Those are quests for like level 1, when you're like level 85, stuff that you shouldn't be doing anymore, but you can complete them if you wanna see the quest line, see the story behind these quests. Some quests do have a very interesting storyline. I'm gonna say that now. So, and as you can see, you can receive gold and experience, but if you're at the maximum level, you can only receive gold, and you receive about like 70% more gold than you would as you're not like at the end game. And end game is like level cap, so maximum level. So first thing you should do when you get into WoW and you consider like, well, sorry for the major lag, to be honest. Mist of Pandaria just came out, like a new expansion, and like I think all the kids just called in sick from school just to play it. Kinda stupid, to be honest, but whatever. As you can see here, this is my bar I use mainly for rotations and stuff. Rotations is basically spells that you keep doing over and over and over that has the maximum damage possible when used in a combination. So what you should do is get an add-on which allows you to bind your spells without having to put them on the spell bar. I got bind pad, so I do /BP and I get this little thingy. You drag your spell in there, you click it, and you click the letter you want to bind it to. Mine is bind it to E, R. I got 2 extra mouse buttons, as you can see. Q, F. I got basically buttons that are really close to my WASD opposed to the 1, 2, 3 with the default bindings, because if you got a default binding, it's a bit harder to move around with WASD. You can move around by holding both mouse buttons, but I don't find it as effective as strafing with your WASD. You kind of have to strafe like around the enemy sometimes while you're still hitting him, because you need to avoid stuff that they like put on the ground or shoot at you or whatever. And one thing I would suggest you do is go into key bindings, and normally this would be WASD. As you can see, I've unbound these two, and I've put A and D as strafe left and strafe right. So whenever I do A, it will just go left. Normally it would do this, it would rotate, but now I just strafe. The reason I did this is because I can just strafe in one direction or the other very easily while still being able to hit. As you can see, I can still hit. I can hit fine. It's something you should be able to do when you get up to the raid levels. It isn't really too important in normal dungeons. Heroic, it gets a little bit more important, but not too much. But in raids, you should really learn to do this before you go into raids. So. Dungeons and raids, when you get to level 15, you can click on, where is it, this little eye icon, or you can just press I, and you can like search for a specific dungeon. If you like a dungeon, you just can click, oh, I want to do this one, excuse me, and then find a group. Or you can have bonus points. At around level 80 you get points. Below 80 you get like a little bag with items for your level, and you get gold and experience. But around level 80 you get experience and points, and at level 85 you only get points and money. You always get money, by the way. So. What these points do is you can buy gear with the points. I think it's around 1,250 up to 2,500 points for like one piece of gear, and you get 70 points each dungeon. So it seems like a lot of work, but you know, you get a little bit extra justice points for killing the bosses. So. Here you can find dungeons. Dungeons are basically 5-man instances, 5-man places. It got normal mobs, normal enemies, and it has a few bosses. I think at least 3 bosses per dungeon. It can go up to like 5 or whatever, maybe even more. I'm not too sure. I haven't really counted it. And there's 2 difficulties. There's normal and there's heroic. Normal is just normal, and heroic is basically the same as normal, but the bosses also get a new ability. So you gotta keep all the tactics from normal, and you gotta convert it a little bit to heroic, because they'll be hitting a bit harder, so you can't really face roll. Face roll is basically, you can't just go in there and press whatever key you want and just win, you know, without even looking. You can't do that, because they'll drop you down real quick. So you gotta have a good healer, you gotta know what you're doing, and you gotta know the tactics. And for heroic bosses you should have like an extra ability, one that can be fatal if you don't do the right tactics. So that's heroic. And raid finder raids are basically around 10 man up to 25 man, kind of sort of dungeons, but the bosses have millions of health. So usually a boss is like 1 million health, maybe 2 million in heroic, like at most. In raids they'll have 100 millions, maybe even more. but you're of course with like 25 men, like 70% is like DPS, the rest is like tanks. I think there's like 3 tanks, 3 healers or something, and the rest is all damage dealers, something like that. But of course, you whenever you get into a raid, you gotta know the tactics, and you gotta be good geared, or no doubt they'll kick you. Scenarios is something new. I cannot do this yet because Mist of Pandaria just came out and it's like level 90 right now. It says 85, but I think they didn't correct that. Scenario is basically a few quests that you gotta do as in an instance. It's like a little quest line that you gotta do in a sort of instance in a 3-man group. So it's like a mini dungeon, it's something like that. So I've talked about key bindings. If you're a clicker, you click on spells. You can get away with it until like 80, but at level 80 you just have so many spells that keep your important spells key binded close to WSD. And the other spells that you barely don't use, I don't use this that often, so I can just click it. Sorry. So yeah, what I also just suggest, actually it's not suggesting, it's highly recommended that you get add-ons such as deadly boss mods. Deadly boss mods show us what a boss is going to do, what spell he's going to do, so you can interrupt it. And interrupting basically means you do a spell like you knock the enemy back, or you freeze him for a second so he can't cast any spells. But when you do that, when he's casting a spell, it will actually interrupt it and he will not be able to cast it in time, so it will fail. And it can basically how should I put it, it will cost you a wipe, and a wipe means like a kill, your whole team getting killed. So yeah, to be honest, the only add-ons I really suggest is getting like new unit frames. The one I got is shadow unit frames right now. You don't really need everything I need, but I just took like a whole bunch to make it pretty, and it's effective as well. So you could go with the normal. Oh, I'm kind of lagging. There's like a shit ton of people online. 24 in my guild right now. It's like only morning. What was I talking about? You could like go into raids with the normal unit frames and stuff, but it is kind of messy. So I would suggest getting add-ons that allow you to customize everything. It allows you to place everything where you want. Like I could place this right in the middle of my screen, even though I would be able to see shit. But you know, you can customize it you want. You can make this larger or smaller. You can place it here. You can do everything you want with it, as long as you know what you're doing in the settings. So that's one thing. Another thing is, when you go to interface, you see alot. Check it, and you can have whatever key. You can even have no key at all. So basically what this does is, when you first get into game and you kill an enemy and you want to loot it, you'll be stuck with the little inventory of the item, of the enemy, sorry. You gotta double click all the items to get it into your inventory, and that costs time, and time is money. Not really, but you know. So what you want to do is have a key, and you want to hold the key and click the body, and it will auto loot everything in the body like in just a second, and it's done. Or you can have no key at all and just click the body and it will do all the same. So get auto loot. I suggest playing around with the settings in the interface. Edit it to your likings. I like a clean interface. As you can see, like most of my top, there we go, most of the top part of the screen is clear, and down below we got all the things I need to know. So that's kind of it for the beginner's guide. I will be posting a new dungeon guide. I don't know which dungeon yet, because I haven't really recorded any dungeon, so I'll just go into a random dungeon and hope it's not Grim Patrol again. So I think that's everything we should talk about. Oh, armor. If you press B, you get your bag. Your bag shouldn't look like this because I got an add-on that puts all the little bags into one big bag. You can have more bags. You can have like 5 bags or something. And each bag will give you more slots to hold your items in. So, sorry. That's it for bags. If you go into your character, holy Jesus, wow, there's something wrong with me. If you hover over an item, it will, where is it? That is weird. I think I've got an add-on right now that kind of prevents me from seeing it, but you can get add-ons that will show the durability of your items. Like me, I got armor 76%, you hover over it, it will show, oh, my wrist is 76%, my main hand is still at around 90%, so, you know, when an item reaches 0%, it will kind of break. You will still have the item, but it will have no effect. All the stats on it will not matter because they won't count anymore. So what you do is you go to a blacksmith. I'll quickly show you guys. And yes, I got a stupid mount still because I didn't get Aki's writing. You get to... is there anyone around here? There he is. You'll see a little blacksmith icon. You click it, and if you're in a guild, you can click this. It will, the guild will basically pay for your repairs. If you're not in a guild, you have to repair everything yourself. So you click this, or you can repair an individual item, but that's not really recommended, so. So it's repairing. If you're ever wondering why your shield isn't showing up in your character or whatever, it's because it's broken and you gotta fix it. I think that's kinda it for the beginner's guide. All the other rest you can learn from the game itself, like the quests, what to do. So, I hope you guys kinda enjoyed this beginner's tutorial. I know it's not really too much. I went to do the most important things, I think. If I forgot something, leave it in the comments. If you still got a question, leave it in the comments. So if you liked, comment, rate, subscribe. This has been Zeroed, and I'm out.